this way, it's, when I hit, you can see it's all moving. So it creates that illusion that, you know, like, okay, this is fast, but so is this, you know? So try to be mindful whenever you're throwing something out of your energy balls, and that will help you. That's for all you guys, you know, but float back.
When you stand, when you're talking, try to talk in this region here. That'll make, this is like the center of the camera, but you can walk around a bit.
Okay.
We'll want to put a marker around.
No, mark is fine.
You're gonna wrap it up?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically just this table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
See that chair? The yellow one?
Yeah, I
That'll
would
be
just
your
draw
center.
it to the other side and face it.
So why'd you angle the camera differently today?
Oh, just so that it doesn't cover the door and covers, you know, this general area better.
That's what we always do. By
Yeah.
the way, I'm still trying to figure out how to send you that video.
Alright, we'll get together at some point.
I need a Dropbox.
No, Google Drive. Do you use Google?
Yeah, but it's not uploading from my phone on Google Drive.
Alright, we'll figure it out. Anyway,
I got a Dropbox that was set up to to send videos, because sometimes the information is just too much, but you're just not transferring it, right?
yeah. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. We'll wait till she gets here, you know, give you guys some time to work on this stuff.
Don't have enough room.
And, you know, abuses. So do you know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah. You get a window. That's it.
Oh, you get tired?
Yeah.
You still got that cold going on. Oh, good. That's good that we're doing the Tai Chi today.
Yeah.
do a swing kick. Wait, does the thing come from the other side?
Maybe.
Like, we're using the momentum of the turn, so you turn and then rather than
Right.
so
here.
stop kick, down, back, front. Is this a blade or blade? Stop. Blade, then stop.
Stop.
Then do the tree stop.
Is this where you stop?
Got a little bit after. I got a bit afterwards, actually.
Okay.
Keep going.
You know?
Yeah, from here it's the.
This is where it has.
Alright, so from here.
Then there's like the eagle claw metrics thing
Yes.
afterwards.
So. This way.
Keep going.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, whatever.
And that was basically it.
Okay.
You remember how to get here, huh?
I did.
We're just doing a little warming up with the 5 element form, so if you want to stretch or anything, you know, just let it go on. We're gonna do the first chapter of the Tai Chi, then we're gonna go into the third.
Okay, so going into the floodgates from that last.
Your hair looks good. Am I wrong?
That's something that
Your hair looks
I did come on to.
I cut it.
But technically, just don't care.
Looks good.
Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about that right now.
More of
Can I
that.
look around and thank you?
Yeah.
So I'm just-
Everything going okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about last week.
I mean, you had a great opportunity, but injured himself. So I was gonna just put you guys and go through the whole form.
It was a shame. I didn't realize when we were talking about Monday that you'd been back Monday.
Well, I wasn't sure. Did he injure his finger?
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
that's where we got
I told
to
you
part.
that.
Yeah, that's
That's right. Okay. I wasn't sure what he was gonna be doing. But we're gonna go through it today.
Okay.
So, you know.
Yeah, no, I got part of that.
Okay,
I got it, I'm taking it right now.
at the prize.
Oh, yeah, I got it with the.
Hey, Venom,
I stopped
what are you doing?
on these gates, nothing to.
Okay, good.
Do me a favor. While we're letting them warm up, where'd you go, Venom?
Okay, good. Then you're just gonna
Take her out there and just
Start back.
go through the Tai Chi. Don't teach her.
I think they're
Just
just kind
move
of.
through the Tai Chi.
No, the last
Yeah.
one.
Ready?
Well, the last two, it's kind of like.
Yeah.
I haven't done
Oh, those, the last two are more
Yeah,
like.
that's what I mean.
Are more like
Just
baseball kicks.
Follow him.
Okay.
With the movement.
Backwards
If you want him
baseball
to
kicks.
stop,
You're
have him
here,
stop at any point, ask him
and this
questions.
whole
And
thing
then
becomes
when they
solid,
come in,
you
that
just
way,
swing it back.
Get what they're doing. You can stop.
Yeah,
But
just
it's
because
like- Yeah.
Okay.
He's just getting over a cold.
Oh, I don't know how that is. Me too.
Alright, so. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Oh, no, take a little further.
A little bit further.
Yeah, take him just a tad further.
Okay, I thought we were stopping with this Tai Chi.
Alright, no, we're gonna do that. Tai
I'm
Chi's,
gonna do that whole section
you
first.
know, you guys already know the Tai Chi, so we're just going through that, but this would be good to take them a little bit
Okay.
further through it, you know?
Wait, show me the prize first.
Form's looking pretty good there,
Prize.
you know? Doing a good job,
Okay.
you know?
Admittedly, it's the first
I'm
time.
trying to keep you guys together on the 5 element form. Julia is always sick, so capture up and we can.
Yeah.
Take you guys a little bit further today.
Yeah.
Any questions, guys, on it? You all on the same page?
Yep. He's right before the prize.
Okay. Did he get those yet?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't.
All right, so teach them together. Why is he just doing it on his own?
No, he has it. He already has it.
I know, so you gotta teach him, right?
Okay.
So as you're teaching him, he can go through those moves and, you know, learn,
reading the.
All right. So
get him going right. So
we
wherever
just
you
did
stop.
the last one of these. Now we're going this way to the right. We're here, we step out, and we do prize, these guys. I do like 6, typically even. So 1, and you're stepping forward each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we do these pincer moves. Thumb on top of the index finger, and this, so they basically pinch like this.
Mm.
And so they come out nice and tight, nice and linear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing, they're coming forward the whole time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then from here, we do these, I call, Popeye punches or stuff we punch with. They come back, boom, boom, boom. And with these, you come forward, but then the feet come in and you come up high into this standing pose.
And one thing I don't understand are these punches, when you're coming up there, are they any different in how they're triggering?
They trigger right
That's the
here,
point.
right here.
So how are they different than, because then we come up here, is it just more condensed?
They're more condensed. They should
Or is it a
be close to
is
your
it a
chest
different
the whole
kind of
time. No, like the whole time, you want your back, upper back, tight, engaged up here. Even when you hear it pop, 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 the whole time.
So it's just a more condensed version of what of the immediate preceding step.
No, the immediate preceding set is as condensed as up here.
Okay, we're just taking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just changing our position. We're here, pop, 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 pop. Okay? And these, they come out, but they can also come around and come up and do all sorts of things. That. And then you turn around to your left. Same thing. Prize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pincer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably not doing that right. I know
You guys aren't doing any of the form right, really.
But we're gonna get gross motions down so that you can.
It's like from a countertop, you're sitting on a table. So the punches only go from the table to where they're gonna go, very close range punches.
Okay.
So you don't wanna have your arms turn this way, okay? When you're punching, you don't wanna turn. They're here, like a praying mantis. So when they come out, it's like you're punching from a table.
Okay. Punching from the table, I see.
Yeah,
So just like this guy.
like your elbows are leaning on the table and you're hitting from that.
Okay.
So they don't turn this way. They're straight. Yeah, they're very aggressive punches.
Here, I step out to a V on here.
No, we want.
The correct name for them is rabbit punches. That's the correct name for it. But
I'm not sure if it matters. I'm not sure if it matters, but I always go for a more extreme angle. Just to make it challenging.
But so you always lead with the left foot. What does that not matter?
No, you're leading with. You're
Because
leading.
what I've been doing is I've been doing that,
Yep.
and then stepping out that way, and then stepping out that way.
No, I don't think that matters. But for now, just do it that way if you want. But I.
So you got-
usually
you got-
take it extreme.
the punches are going straight, right?
Yep.
Then you got straight, and then you go and straight, and you angle once, then you go straight and you angle one more time. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when you're coming into these.
Yep.
Gravity.
So you're just doing 2 different angles after.
Two
Yeah.
different angles.
That way, okay.
Direction, first one you take doesn't matter. So
But you're stepping into that one.
stepping into it.
The last one, right.
So from here, we have a V which goes out like this. I typically step out to this V first, step out into like 4-6, still with the rapid punches. These are right in front of you. Imagine there's like a tabletop right there, and you're keeping your arms, your elbows on the tabletop. You punch just from there. So here, so yeah, you just come from the 4-6, you slide up, into a stand, come out into a 4-6 this way, on the 90-degree angle from where you were, and bump up, bump up, bump up. Okay. So, do you want to practice that?
I'll do that sequence, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the one point where you walk.
Yeah. These are blocks, but they also like block coming in.
It's coming up from your center.
Yep. But you don't want, yeah, you want to, with these, you're going to walk naturally with these.
Not really blocks.
They're prize, aren't they? Or blocks, or they can be
Gravity,
anything.
it's good when you guys start getting into your gravity takedown. So when you hit with the arm, it's hitting full arm, it's going this way. So you're kind of like if you can imagine yourself, put yourself in a pocket, but it's over the whole length of the person's body.
I see.
So when it comes in, I mean, you could use it as a strike, but in here, it's just to give you this motion, this down motion when you're hitting.
Okay.
That's where the gravity comes in.
Gotcha.
So you're hitting whole center body, or, you know, you move things out of the way. It's great if you want to get out of a fire.
Out of the fire, okay. So yeah, these, they just, you do like 4 of those. 3, 4, and then, no, punches. Reverse punches. But no. These actually stay up here from what they can describe. Stay up here, boom.
Are you keeping it on that trajectory?
Yeah. Do 4 of those, and then the stealth chops. And then,
So is this the move from the beginning, or is it?
no, it's same move from the beginning. So you're not really doing a chop. I call them chop because that's like the motion, the idea, but they just come up the body and come down. They just stay within, stay here. Yeah. And these are straight back kicks.
But then, yeah. And then back.
Remember, these come together first. Kick.
Kick.
And
I want to
then,
bring it back here and then sneak it back. But then on the second 2, that's when I just bring it straight back. Right?
so let me show you first. So you're here, and up. Watch. Oh. Up. Kick. Sneak in. Up. Kick. Step. Up. Kick. Up. Kick. Then from here, pretty sure you're supposed to have the side. Just come across.
Yeah. But what's the difference? These last 2, there's a difference. What I've been doing is this. So, kick, back. Kick, back, and grip. Then back there, then here, I've just been picking it up straight from there.
Yeah, from there you pick it. From there you pick it straight up. Kick. So no need to bring it in.
Yeah. Straight up, kick, and then,
Yep.
but then I straight back, you know,
Straight down.
back here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I tend to do kick. I mean, I already trigger it, but then I
Well, you bring it back to the trigger, but you don't trace that and then, you don't
Exactly.
trace down your leg again and then go down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then this is.
Now you kick from here. So here. Same exact sequence, pretty much.
You keep it.
You guys are just so bad with that kick.
We are learning though.
Yeah, you're learning. I mean, at least you're trying.
So trying Sifu.
That kick,
Forever.
that kick when done properly, when I kicked this one guy,
The donkey kick, right?
set him over the bar, just lifted him right up into the air. He was a big guy, this guy here.
Big as Moshe, a little bigger.
Yeah,
I'm not really so big.
well, you know, I mean, you're more compact big, he was taller, but it was really, it was just a straight mule kick. You guys, what you guys are doing is you're kicking more with your butt, and you're turning your legs.
So
It's a
with-
hard kick to pull off.
So are you supposed to kick with more like your thigh than your butt? More this than your butt?
Yeah, your butts are coming out, you know? So it just comes right even when you're throwing that kick. You just ground, you know, and that's part of the spring of the kicking. You know.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay.
On those 10 float, don't use them as strikes yet, because they're expansions. So they're teaching you to expand the person's
Yeah, show me
arm
the
as
face
they're
again.
moving in. So they're more floating. You know that, right?
Are they,
They're not strikes, they float. They do this, see?
how far into the pocket should they come?
Here, they just come right back to your center.
Alright.
See how you're striking?
Mm.
So the pry moves, so the pry open. So if you're on the ground and being choked out, it's the pry open. Your person's hands are in front of you, because your arm naturally expands. So if I'm here, say the person's arm is here, as I move, it's moving the person's arm. So it deals more with Wing Chun, you know, type of these. But you're using the strikes,
Remember
the
that
strikes.
even though you're kicking
I know
back,
it's particular in
this
this
trigger is still supposed to come all the way up.
When you guys get stronger with your
Yeah,
fingers
much
and
better.
stuff, you could change that into a strike.
Remember,
You have to
you're holding the energy well the whole time. You're
And you also have to
staying
know
low.
how you're hitting with your fingers, and we'll go through that.
Yep,
as you
yep,
more
that's
experience,
it.
you start breaking down,
That's it.
you know. So they
Then-
float. You know, so you can have 1, 2, 3.
Which is just 4. That was
Usually I do.
Yep, but
Yes,
Or
float.
leg.
Like if you put your arm out, put your arm
Right
right
hand,
here,
right here.
so if I'm floating,
Yeah.
I guess that-
as I'm floating, you see how
no,
it expands on the
it is like this.
Or if I'm coming this way, just floating, how it expands just naturally. So if I'm moving,
He's
it's
coming.
teaching you
Can
to
I
just
also
move.
express
So
what
your
you
hands are up,
Is
I'm moving this way.
Then you should come up.
Is that what makes it different than the?
How to come close,
Yeah.
they're not
They
strikes.
both do
I'm
different things.
one-
They're on the same thing.
I'm guessing I have to get a little playful with the hand angles.
Yes, yeah,
Like,
okay.
They're different
So
methods.
now that you got
Alright,
that, you can play with it a little bit, you get that in your mind, you can see how you're actually moving in. So, see how you're coming back this way? It just floats back. Remember we did that class where we're talking
This
about
sequence always, I always forget this one.
you know? So here I'm prime.
Here.
So if we're saying we're fighting, I'm coming this way, see?
So,
See how that works with down here? It's moving. You know, saying here, I'm coming this way, just how I'm moving in. If you're grabbing me, right, and you're choking, it's moving this way.
okay.
You see, so it's floating in.
Wait.
So when they also float back, you don't want to
Phone's over there.
pull back, because it's not, they're not meant to be fast, they're meant to be prompt. You go through it one more time, you know?
Hey, Steve, would you rather not get that stuff in the corner and stuff?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. You mean the charts?
No, and all the stuff on that shelf back there.
No.
Okay.
We're good.
no, we could even, if you like, we could even pose like the babies into weird.
No, the babies I don't want in the shop. That's just scary.
What if they're a little more grown
That's
up?
just scary
There's
stuff.
like there's some older mannequins in the back that we could pose. If that makes it any better.
No mannequins, we'll just kind of skip that.
Okay, let's get
Yeah.
the show on the road.
All right, ready? Okay.
Okay.
We're good?
We're rolling.
All right, so, everybody come out on the floor. Because I can't take it anymore. Don't all run out the door. I have another word after that, but it would be inappropriate. Okay, so, Tai Chi, we're gonna do the first chapter of the Tai Chi, just to see where you guys are with it, right? So I'm just gonna let you guys do it. And then, see, that's what you can't have. We need to put that camera somewhere if you're gonna do it, that it's not interrupting the class.
No, it's good right there, I think.
All right, but maybe we have to change that up next time, maybe.
You could
I don't
also
want
teach
people
you
having
to stand
to-
or your family.
Hmm?
So it's a little less disruptive.
We could fix
So
it.
instead of standing over there, you
Oh,
stand
okay.
by that camera.
All right, let's do it this way, guys. Let's all stand over here. Is that better? No? Will that be a better angle?
Is it better angle?
Does that work okay?
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Because
good?
now that's like that camera, except it's on the bottom.
Yeah. All right, so once you guys all kind of move out to the middle a little bit here. All right, so Tai Chi, I'm just going to watch you guys do the first chapter. And then from there, maybe we'll discuss the first chapter a little bit. And then we'll go into the third chapter, which hasn't been, which you guys really need some work with, right? All right, so anything that you guys want to add about the Tai Chi? You know, there's a whole reason, a big story, which I guess I could put on a different video, because now we're just doing the classes. So this is the whole point of these videos here that we're doing. Alex, I don't want them interrupting the class. This is just teaching the class. I don't want her worrying about standing in a different part of the camera. That's not important to me, right? This is a class. Shouldn't be worrying about the cameras. We're just doing this for the people that want to, when we start doing what we're doing, right? So maybe I'll do another video talking about how the Tai Chi actually started with me. It's a really fascinating story. And I didn't get into the Tai Chi until I was in my 17th year of training, which was doing a lot of fighting at that time with Chen and Yu. All right, so let's see you guys do the first part of it. So let's put you in the back, because you're doing more following, and the guys who know the form more in the beginning. So before we start, what's the first move in the Tai Chi?
This one.
Okay, so the first move is standing there. It's your first move, right? Just staying in one spot and understanding your posture and your spine and everything moving. So you have to really adjust. That adjustment, we'll talk about it a little bit now, has to stay throughout the whole form. Okay. Now, the movement in the Tai Chi and what it does for you is remarkable, and it's subtle. So that's what I will tell a little story of how I started Tai Chi, because I was hurting a lot of people back then. And the Tai Chi isn't like what you see. So if you get Tai Chi, you'll see Tai Chi performed, and in a performing style of Tai Chi, which is amazing. People, what they can do with that is pretty amazing. But it's all really about understanding your internal movement, and your organs are constantly expanding and contracting with the movement inside. So you have the outer, like an M&M. Or how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? With you guys, it would be eternity. All right, so it's about really expanding and contracting your organs. And there's so much I could talk about with the Tai Chi, so maybe we'll set up a video where I'm just doing the philosophy, how I started with the Tai Chi and how important it is. So it's a different type of form movement because it's subtlety and you're moving through the ether. It will increase your power and it will increase your speed. So it will help you get quicker and it will help you get more powerful. But you will not actually see that in the form unless you become more in tune with it. So it's one of the few forms that you can do outside of the 5-element form and stuff, which has all got the Tai Chi all through it, and the other aspects of it to really get you to blossom and understand your body matrix. So in the last one of the classes, I did a whole talk on form, right? Tai Chi is unique. But today, like everything else, it's become more showmanship than it has become really working on your individual body matrix. So you want to stay there. So the first part where you're just standing, like you said, what should you be, where should you be at? Where should your internal body be reacting to that? Just standing, that first move. So what should you be doing?
Aligning yourself to center.
And how do you do that?
By being present.
Okay. Being present is in the matrix itself. Recognizing the matrix is all around you is something that you will get through the meditation with the movement. It's really, people will say, oh, Tai Chi will relieve stress, Tai Chi will do this, and that's all a bunch of crap because you're not using it, it's not doing anything. So in the beginning, you're creating a presence by understanding your center. And what is that? How do you do that? And we've been through this 100 times, but I don't think you guys actually pay attention or actually start to bring that. So Tai Chi, right? The dog's barking in the backyard. You got bills to pay, your phone's ringing. You have all this stuff happening, and all this stuff's going on, all this noise that's around you, A new YouTube you want to watch, and you want to get over there and you want to watch it, and you're looking at Tai Chi, you're looking at your time as you're doing it, and watching your this, that, and the other thing, and get your Apple Watches, and that's what it's going to do. So Tai Chi's first about aligning of your center, but how do you do that? And how do you create a presence throughout the form? Now that presence, every time you do a move in the Tai Chi, You guys can relax, you can relax a little bit, all right? Every time you do a move in the Tai Chi, every move represents a different flow of energy moving through your body. So without getting into what Chi is and all this other stuff, right? It's really about blood flow. And your blood flow has to always be centered where? Where are the two things in your movement of blood flow? All right, so you all know that I had a heart problem, right? And I was carrying 7 blood clots in my heart for like 15 years and didn't know it. Because my blood flow was moving, still pushing through these clots, right? Okay, and still doing what he was doing. When I went in for the operation and did all that stuff, the guy who told me to have the operation goes, you know, Hill, you got a heart of a 20-year-old. And that's why it's still going. The blood clots, they form, sometimes they just happen. But yours happened for like 10, 15 years and you didn't know it because your heart was just pushing through it. Sometimes they create new pathways, which they may have, but we didn't get into the detail. And he said, but let me go in and just fix it. He said, you know, let me fix it. Like, you can't put stuff in it like stents and stuff, you will just blow them apart. He said, just let me go in and just fix it because you're just lined up to go. So we actually fixed it. So my point is that the Tai Chi was one of the reasons why I survived. Big time, right? So how does you, and as, it's not just affecting, it's a physical presence, but it's also a mental presence, right? And you want to keep that presence throughout the whole form, whether the dog's barking in the backyard, you know, you got bills to pay, you got things on your mind, they just float and you move with it. So when you're doing the Tai Chi, it's all of you. If you're horny that day, you're doing all of you. If you're angry that day, you're doing all of you. If you're moody and off the wall that day, it's all of you. Whatever you are, that becomes part of your presence. You don't say, oh, I should be better than this. You know, and you get all that stuff. That's all nonsense. You got to deal with what you're dealing with. Everything's just hype. And they just want you to feel that, hey, I'm showing you something, and now you too can be mindful. You too can have presence. No, it doesn't work that way, right? And most of those people end up, you know, doing things that they shouldn't be doing because they're lying to you, right? So this is different. You have to become your own leader, your own follower. All right, so going back to that, this is the first. So this is important before you start your Tai Chi. How do you create that presence? Physically, how do you create that presence? Does anybody know? We've talked about it, but it's something now that I think now we're going to graft it, especially that we got it on camera, you guys can actually see it. You know, we'll go back and remember it, but you guys forget all the time. You know, I suffer from short-term memory loss. I've had that my whole life because of dyslexia, right? So the Tai Chi and what you're doing really has to get an idea of creating a presence. All right, so what I teach you guys, if you don't go home and do it right after the class, you're going to forget it. And we were doing, no, you finished the Tai Chi, right? You finished the Tai Chi. I think everybody here has finished the Tai Chi except you, right? Did you? No, you finished it as well, but you're just a little lost. Yeah, well, see, you're not alone, okay? So how do you create that presence, guys? This is important because this is your first move. Alex, you should have the answers to this.
I use my breath.
No?
You caved in your center.
Okay, now we're going somewhere. So what does that mean, Ben? How do you cave in on your center?
Like you do like the whole over exaggerate to show us and kind of fold in.
Condense.
Okay, so you're not actually moving your body, you're becoming mindful of your center. Everything's from your center, okay? So when death occurs, it's from your center. And that's where we could get into the whole philosophy about death and rebirth and all. That would be actually a good start off philosophy tape. All right? So talking about that, how do you create that presence of your center? And how do you hold that presence all the way through the form? So, you know, Tim, you know, your mind's always ricocheting all over the place, right? But you've gotten a lot better, right? You have the ADD or whatever that stuff is, and you've able to expand your brain that you're actually moving better because of it, right? Okay, so that presence has to be kind of dealing with a body emotion. Not emotional content, like when you guys would deal with want and need. This is a body emotion. It deals with the body having a presence and creating that emotion through your body matrix. Creating that presence there. So if your mind's ricocheting all over the place, you got a lot on your brain, that body presence is still there. You hold that, and therefore, throughout the years, your form will develop. I remember I could watch Chen Yan Yu or his Sifu do the form. I didn't even recognize the form. Like, what the hell are they doing? It's the same Tai Chi they taught me, but they have a different presence with it. When they teach it in one way, right? So, creating that presence. Let's talk about that, and now I want you to experiment with that because you're all going to do the first chapter. So, you may have a lack of confidence doing the first chapter because Sifu's watching you. Don't worry about it because you all aren't going to impress him. So it doesn't matter anyway, already start with that, right? So it's just a matter of going to the movement. When you create that presence, what's the first link to starting that presence?
Condensed.
No.
Gravity.
It's all there, you guys are all on the money, but what's the first start when you start your form? What's the first thing that you do to create presence? So it has to be a mindful attitude, right? So what is the first thing you do? You got to do your form. You get up, you say, I'm going to do my form today. I'm going to make Sifu proud, I'm going to practice my form, right? You got to get up and you got to do your form. What's the first step to creating presence?
You step onto the mat.
Yes. There you go. You recognize the energy and stuff that's going on. You create your presence. So you create your square. Right? So the first thing I do, I just don't get up and go, oh, I have a coffee. No. Because life is busy. Life is tough, right? Has life been easy for you guys? Has life been easy? Like everything goes exactly the way you want? Perfect relationships, right? No problems, money, work. Does life like really treat you really well? Are you really happy and joyful every day? We can get into that too, how you practice joyful participation in the sorrows of the world and yourself. So, I get up and go, okay, do my Tai Chi, no presence. The first thing I do is I create an atmosphere. I recognize that I'm in an ether, that I'm like a fish in the water, and that I'm moving within the air, right? Because the air has weight, gravity, which you brought to point, and Tai Chi deals a lot with your bones. So there's so many miracles in the Tai Chi in your body matrix, it's amazing. But it's not really taught. Everybody just does the form and says they're getting something from it, but you're not getting anything from it. Oh, I'm healing, but you're actually you could be doing damage. Like you're doing too much on your knee, you're doing too much this, and it just causes problems down the line. So the first thing I do is when I come out, wherever I'm doing, I create a presence. I have my presence. Boom. I stand there and I create the atmosphere. That's the first move. Being mindful of just creating an atmosphere. Now, as you're creating the atmosphere, your parakeet can be going chirp, 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 chirp. You should just shoot that damn thing. But chirp, 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 and the dog's barking in the backyard, you got your cat humping on your leg, like this is like, ow, when all that stuff's going on, if your cat's humping on your leg, you got a real problem, right? Okay, so you got different things going on, you just, okay, so no. You create a presence. All that stuff's happening. You got bills you got to pay. You got a meeting you got to go to. Boom. When you do your Tai Chi, that stays. It's all there, but you move with it. So when I move out here, I create. And now it's almost like the ether, which is in an element. Ether is what holds all the elements in. Just straightens me out. Now when I have that, I create the body presence. So, first, it's almost all around you, which also deals with gravity, and you actually feel the weight of your bones. You recognize your bones, how heavy they are, how you're moving with them, and how gravity moves with it. That's why my aging process is so much different than everybody else's. And I move like a 16-year-old, though I'm not 16, right? So all of that changes, right? So at this point here, you start moving. right? So you're starting to pay attention to where your hips are. How do you do that is by collapsing in your center. So when I'm here, I create first the ambiance, the presence, right? Like, if you go to McDonald's, okay, you're not there, you're there for fast food, right? But if you go to a nice restaurant, what does nice restaurants have? Presence. You're paying for the presence, you're paying for the service, you're paying for the atmosphere, you're paying for good tuna. If you go to a restaurant and it's bad tuna the first day it's great, the second day it's not so good, the third day the chef don't know what the hell he's doing. He's not picking the tuna right, that's why sometimes I say, you guys are like bad tunas, right? Because what that means is if I go back to that restaurant, the chef should be good enough that it's consistent. The one thing about fast food is McDonald's, which I haven't been to in a while, always tastes the same, right? It's consistent. Fast food, you eat it and you go. And then you have heartburn later. But that's all part of the game, right? When you go to an atmosphere, you're paying for the atmosphere. So you are creating an atmosphere within your own being. So when I come out here, first the presence, and then I'm feeling, kind of like the walls of the ether around me. Now, that's what's straightening out my hip, giving me my posture right, my neck, my shoulders, and gravity pulling everything down. So I can feel the heaviness of my bones. At that point, once I'm there, and when you get good at it, it takes nothing at all. You carry it everywhere you go. It will be driving your car, eating at McDonald's, wherever you go. So now, it's a mindful collapse. So if you guys just take, like if we over-exaggerate it, if you take your shoulders and you go this way. So take your shoulders, and now when you go this way, if you notice, like I saw when he did his shoulders, he goes this way. His whole head comes down. Right? All right? No. You have to have your center. So if I'm standing here, and I'm putting my shoulders forward, it's like I'm folding, my shoulders is folding a package. So when you ever start your Tai Chi, this is where you should begin. This is your first move, and that's creating that presence that you were talking about for the whole form. Matrix presence, your body matrix, okay? Your brain has just got to work always 100 miles an hour. It's got to go wherever it's got to go. Just, you can let it go, you can, if you're, really have a high libido that day and you can't get rid of it, then work with it. Don't like, oh, I should be better than this. No, it's everything you are coming into it. And the more you recognize that, the more you will discover your dragon. Understanding all the many scales that your dragon hides behind. You can't slay your dragon. It will always be there, it will always beat you, right? So don't fight it, move with it. And this is what you do. So here, I first create that presence, boom. I feel the earth, right? I feel the ether, the void that just goes, my body goes into the infinity that's around me. And now I create that body matrix. So now without doing this, I condense my lower stomach muscles and then all rest here on my center. And then, so my hip movement here really conducts throughout the form as well, really conducts my center of gravity, dealing with my center, with all your fighting instincts. And any death ritual, as far as stabbing, punching, doing that, the center line is, the place that you want to hit, right? That's your basic pressure point system. Okay, so here, if I feel slunched over, I'm going to straighten that out, and my stomach muscles tighten up a little bit, and my chest, my center line moves to rest in here like I'm folding a package. And now I'm here, and I keep that presence through the whole form, right? And I move. It will also allow you to lighten up your legs. Now see here, right here, I'm not right. Now you may not see that, but my center is, because I'm not mindful of it, I've lost my center. So my mind can be moving, but I'm mindful of it. So now my center has to move this way, and I condense down. That presence of the beginning move in the form has to stay throughout the whole form. And that's how you start reaping the benefits, starting to begin the benefits of what Tai Chi is actually doing for you. And so many people do the Tai Chi, and they don't really have a presence, you know. So that's where you really want to begin, right? So the first part of it is when I start out here. It's supposed to have healing effects of mind and body. So I start out here, I get that presence. Now, if I start just like playing with it, and I'm just playing, right? All of this stays here. I'm talking, I'm moving with it, I'm just playing with it. But it will conduct the movements a little bit differently because I'm moving faster with it and doing whatever I'm going to do. So it's not about taking it so seriously. It's about moving with it. You guys take yourself so seriously, right? Life's so serious. Right? I like the Joker, right? Burn the pile of money. Okay? So the first move is how do you do it?
Step.
Okay, you step onto the mat, you create that atmosphere, then what? How do you create that center?
Condense.
And how do you condense?
Everything sits on top of your core.
Okay, so your tantien, we'll say, right? Everything sits there. And then all this comes in. So you guys understand you're creating a mental presence, but it's also affecting you physically. You can feel that. I'm condensing that in, but I'm not literally, doing this. I just, so my body, presence, if you take a pole and you put it through the center of my head and it comes out my ass, right? You're on a merry-go-round, right? Right? It comes straight down. You're keeping that center, and you're keeping mindful of that and that condensed energy all through there. You're dealing with your body energy. You're dealing with your body matrix. So the first part of doing Tai Chi, which is never taught, with being what I'm doing, and we talked about it before, but maybe now you'll pay a little bit more attention to it, right? Is really creating a center presence to really develop it. And it's where my speed has increased. Remember, I did it, many, many years ago, but I was in my 17th year of training, and I was hurting people physically, hitting them and they were going down. There's a whole story behind scattered energy and whatnot. And I was pretty fast then, but I'm faster. It's funny, the older I get, the faster I get, right? The older people get nowadays, they just slow down. They're taking the bus to go food shopping at 40, Age is important, but age is also wisdom, which I can't really speak too much about today's world because everybody's stuck on TV or whatever the hell, right? So it's really about using that, creating your own body wisdom. So you come out to the floor, you create that atmosphere. You should do this now every time. So next time I ask you guys, how's your Tai Chi to go? Oh, my presence was off today. And you'll know that you're a little bit off, but that's okay. And you keep that, right? I keep it through injury. When I had the heart problem and the other things that I almost died of, violence and all that other stuff, I was out there and as soon as my body was able to move a little bit, I was doing my Tai Chi. Cane and all, right? Okay? So I get out and I just start moving. I create that. I can feel that this is slunched over or start over here. I create that and then I just stay with it. So as I'm sitting here, I'm saying, gee, Lisa's hair looks nice today. It's nice that she got that haircut. I think Tim's a little bit crazy. He's moving like all over the place. I have all this stuff going through my head. Venom just takes life too seriously. He's got to chill out, right? Oh, that damn cat's humping on my leg. I'm just moving. So, one other thing we'll add to it. If you fixate on a thought, you'll probably screw up the form. Just start over again or just move. So here I am floating around, doing my Tai Chi, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about that damn cat. And now I'm like, where am I? I keep with the floating. And then wherever I'm at, nothing's written in stone. Wherever I'm keeping with this, I go, I'll just start here. If I can't get back to where I'm at. Right? Sometimes your mind will drift. It's no big deal. It's just, we're not perfect. When you get to that point, you just float around and find your spot again. Or a spot. And you just start from there. You have a lifetime to do this. And that will also teach you, how how to see more, how to view more. The other part is your eyes, how your eyes work through it. We won't get into all of that. But so now you know what you're doing with the Tai Chi. The most important move in the Tai Chi is what? The first move. Your presence. And when it's easy to say presence, but you're creating an emotional matrix presence with your body. And that emotional presence has to stay in here as you move. Right? It's a matrix presence with your body, not a mindful emotion. Like when you're happy. How often are you happy every day? You're happy driving your car, I'm so happy. You know, happy going to work, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so joyful. You know, the only time we're happy is usually when you're taking drugs, but what happens after the drugs? The come down. Then you ain't so happy. And that's why you keep going back to it, and that's why you create an addiction. So here you become addicted to your own body matrix. Right? You'll start to understand that. First part, I do not want you guys to forget this. Next time I ask you, you gotta say what to me? Let's say, what do you gotta say to me? Next time I ask you, how do you begin the Tai Chi? So I know that you're beginning it this way at home.
By creating presence.
And how do you create that presence?
By bowing into my mat.
And then what?
And then taking a minute to feel it. To feel the...
Are you feeling it?
You condense that.
Are you expressing it?
You're finding it.
Say that?
Finding it.
Okay, that's a better word. Chi and energy isn't something that you feel because that becomes an emotion. The presence is something that you just accept within you. Right? So there's a little bit difference here. Okay? So when I come out, I'm sitting here, standing here. So far you guys have been standing here listening to me babble. You know? And your bodies are really impatient. Trying to find places and you find aches and your back starts hurting and all this stuff starts going on. The only one who's actually not moved through this whole thing has been Venom. Why is that, Venom? You're just a weirdo, that's why you're here. Right? Okay. Alright? So Venom's just standing there. I don't know what he's thinking. He's probably thinking about, the last person buried in his backyard, but that's alright, Okay, or who he's cooking up. People taste pretty good when they're being cooked, right? Yeah. Yeah, master chef. So here, you're all have that whole movement here. And then, boom, I start. Now, this is pulling up every time I make a move. So when I make this move here, I'm sending a different blood flow through the center of my heart. This is what's important. So your blood is always moving through your main frame. What other part should it be moving at?
Everywhere, right?
Well, it's moving through. Every motion and every movement, because your organs are expanding and contracting, just like it's shrinking. Like say your kidney is shrinking and it's expanding. Shrinking your spleen, your liver, your heart. But what else should it be doing as you create this presence? What else is so important with your heart? Your heart works with what?
Gravity.
Your brain. So your brain has to promote, and your body has to promote oxygen. Right? It promotes oxygen. It moves oxygen through your body and your brain. Your brain, when it has more oxygen in it, brings a state of happiness. It calms you down. And you guys all know me, I'm pretty much the same every day, right? I'm a bit of a maniac, but that's okay, maybe that's what makes me happy. But I'm promoting more oxygen to my brain, oxygen through my cells in my body, right? I'm promoting oxygen because I'm starting the Tai Chi mindfully. Not just, I learned the Tai Chi, now I'm a master. I mean, I can tell you some stories, and I will, right? Not here. But the whole point is that, I know Tai Chi, I'm going to write a book and teach it to people. And nobody gets the benefits of it. Right? So the first thing is that you become a captive audience with yourself. How is that? The only time you guys become a captive audience is when you're masturbating or having sex with somebody. Right? Okay? That's okay, but it's not a captive audience. Right? Or if you're angry, emotional content comes in, you're fighting, someone's standing in front of you, like, the thing I liked about the martial art when I was first starting, when I was young, I could hit something, it was okay, and I was standing in front of it, and everything disappeared. When somebody's trying to punch your face off you, everything disappears, you're not thinking about, the girl you saw on a bicycle with the tight sweater, you're thinking like, oh my God, I'm gonna get, I'm talking to you, right? It's all gone when you stand in front of somebody that wants to knock your lights out, or somebody that's coming in with a gun or whatever it is. Like I said, you're never more present. I don't know if you ever had a gun pointed to your face or a knife coming at you, but you're very present then. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And that's where life, boom, right there, that's the kind of thing that you want to create. Now you're creating it because now you become a singular, like say, vessel of movement within yourself. You can't cheat, you can't escape it. When you do cheat and escape it, you may be floating around a little bit till you get yourself back. You become your own captive audience. That's really important to create because you guys can't create that. Everything's always taking you away. Relationships take you away, money takes you away, fantasy, YouTube, your phones, everything takes you away. Now here, there's nothing there. It's the one thing in your life where you're starting to create your own personal presence. So here, I don't know, I guess maybe you could do your Tai Chi looking at a phone, I don't know. But you start and you really have to be here. And the point is like you guys are only here listening to me because you have no choice. You're stuck in the room, right? So you listen, and you think, your minds are drifting, going a million miles an hour, wondering what else you gotta do. But when you do your Tai Chi, guys, that's that whole presence here. I create that. No matter how bad my day is, what's going on, I do it, and I create it, and I stay with it. And I move, which allows my legs to move easier. So I'm not making a move like this, because I'm pulling everything into my center. Everything's coming into my center. So as I'm moving here, I'm buckling down, it's coming out. And my legs stay on the ground even though it's with carpet. So Tim, you gotta do your Tai Chi. So the reason I'm being a stickler on this is, one, we're on camera, that's cool, so you could actually see it. But without this, you're not doing Tai Chi. You're just learning moves. Now, if you're doing Tai Chi for competition, it's a little bit different. Those people are amazing. They come real low, they're learning movements and whatever. Their body has to be stretched and worked. Everything has to be working right for them to do what they're doing. Like the Wushu Tai Chi. You ever watch those people? Oh my God, like, ow, no, but the idea of what they're doing and where it's coming from, maybe a little bit differently. I don't know where they learned it from, but that's extreme movement. Here, your movement has to be mindful. So you're going to start your Tai Chi, Tim. What do you got to do?
Step into my mat and bow in.
And then what?
Find my presence.
How do you do that?
Centering myself.
How do you do that?
Taking a minute to find myself.
How do you do that? Now this part now that you're talking about, finding yourself, isn't it? It's about finding your body matrix now. Understand what I'm saying here. It's not about finding yourself, your lost souls, because you're all lost puppies, right? Okay? How does that work? How's the mechanics work? You just went through that. I think that's what you guys keep missing. How's the mechanics work? What do you got to do?
Line my body appropriately.
And how do you start that?
Ensure I have a good root.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, find my
You
core,
gotta, the
line
best
up on
thing
the floor.
So the first part is feeling the weight of your bones. Feeling the heaviness of your bones moving to gravity. I come in here, I set myself up, my bones collapse on each other. It's like forming a black hole in my own center. Your shadow demons, right? So I feel the weight of my bones. By feeling the weight of my bones, I could see I have too much weight on my left leg, not enough on my right leg. So now I center that and I get everything. Now I'm too much on my heel and not enough on the balls of my foot. I want it to become more even. When that becomes even, I feel the weight of my bones bringing me to earth, gravity. Then I start to line up myself with my center and my movement of my hips, how this is going to move. Now, when I'm there, all of that play, now you're ready to begin the form. Right? And you keep that presence through the whole form. And this part of the form, which is never taught, ever, very rarely, I don't know many teachers that will ever teach this. They just teach the Tai Chi, well now you got it. That's great, but you're not doing anything with it. In fact, if you're not doing it right and you're not moving to your body matrix, however it's redesigned, you actually can do damage to your body. So here, I feel all of that, I get that presence, and I'm getting my neck, everything in order. Now, one last thing, okay? Where should your eyes be?
In your head.
Yeah. That's good. In your head. That's important. I always keep saying I'm going to take Vic's eyes because Vic's eyes are better than mine. I'm just going to take and put them in my pocket so I can start seeing a little bit better. All right? Vic gets a little worried about that. Because, you know, Vic always looks like he's like a deer in the headlights. You know, watch Vic. He'll stop, he'll just move and he'll go. What's there, Vic? Do you see something? Huh?
He's like that he's like that one Klingon in Star Trek, Gowron.
Yeah, with the big eyes. That guy's great. What a great actor. Okay, so the thing is here now, where should your eyes be? Besides in your head. So eyes become important also gives you better peripheral vision. So I'll give you an idea. If I'm standing here, I can still see him. My eyes are doing what they're doing. I can see him. I can even see Venom. If I move out of here, Venom has a presence because I may have to worry about him because I don't want to be cooked, right? And I'm going to maybe move a little bit here, but I can still see all this room from here by doing what?
View.
How do you view with your eyes through the Tai Chi?
You're moving your eyeballs, not your head.
Yes. There's no reason to move your head to do something as you're making a move. So if I'm going this way here, say if I take it, if I'm going this way, I go, right? My eyes are moving first. My eyes go before my movement, and my movement follows. That's another aspect of the Tai Chi. It really helps with your peripheral vision, your overall, like you'll see things coming at you. You know, probably avoid car accidents, you know, and things of that nature. Okay, so you just start to see because I'm following my movement. So when I'm first doing my Tai Chi, let's say we use you as a platform, right? You stay right where you're at, right? As I first start doing my Tai Chi, my eyes are kind of looking like where his feet are, right? So I'm looking where he's at here, and I'm staying that degree, and I'm staying with that. As I'm moving, they stay here, and they just move. So it's directing my movement very centered. As I'm moving from here, I'm very centered. Now, what should my eyes be doing? Here's you guys. You do it all the time. I'm going that way, but I just move my whole that way. So my eyes, so there's a lot to just this, I'm touching it. My eyes move, and then I'm moving. So I'm following my eye movement. When I'm coming here, I'm looking this way. My eyes are just moving in my head. I'm not turning my head to see it. Fighting. Moshe, get out here, right? Moshe's the Hulk, right? Look at this guy. He's like a mean little prick, right? So he's standing here like this here, and he wants to hit me. What am I doing here? If I'm looking, I'm not doing this here. Where am I focused on? I'm trying to see his whole body, especially in weapon fighting. Okay? And so Tai Chi is teaching you this just through doing it. So if I'm standing here and he throws something, I'm already, go back and just throw something, just throw it. I'm already here to move because my eyes are seeing it. So I'm also seeing, my eyes also see he's got these two guns and these two guns. What's he got to throw? I'm not going to be tricked. And that's how blocking actually starts to work, because you're not going to really block like you do in the movies. It's also, it's participating what the movement is. So the same with the Tai Chi, as I'm moving and I'm coming in through this, I'm staying here. So it's helping me keep that body matrix going. Now when I move here, I sink here, and my eyes are ahead of it because I'm moving in this position. I'm not moving here and going this way, which causes my shoulder to over-exaggerate, causes my body to over-exaggerate. So as I'm making this move here, my eyes are just already starting. So I'm training my eyes to move with it and keeping that body presence. That is the real beginning of what Tai Chi is. Okay? It's practicing internal patience and internal discipline. Right? So it's different because you're creating your own body matrix, you're creating your own universe, and you're dealing with your own galaxy, moving around in the universe. You're discovering. That's what Tai Chi is truly supposed to be about. Right? So if you guys start practicing that, it's amazing what it will do for you in combat as well. And you all know what I can do in combat. Okay? Combat, the Mortal Kombat. So now, when you guys are home and you do your Tai Chi, this all just, and you don't have to, I just come out, you have a really bad day. You know, have just a bad day. I come out, my shoulders are slunched, you know. It's like working on, you know, you're just moving one of these days, you know, just like this here. Life is like, oh man, my life sucks. Oh man, why do I do this? I got to deal with that. And then I come out here, oh, okay, let's do my Tai Chi here. Setting that up. It really does help you get through all the fires that you're burning yourselves throughout your life. Because, you know, we are our own worst enemy, right? Your emotions always cause trouble. So here, just here. And now I'm in captive audience. And I'm just moving through it and paying attention to it. So now, with all that being said, I want you guys to do the first chapter. So now you're creating your own presence here. You're just doing it. We'll have Alex take the lead so you kind of follow where he's at. But mindfully, even if you screw up the form. So say, you know, Alex makes a move, or you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm doing something else. Remember I told you about floating and getting yourself back? Doesn't mean you stop. When you throw a front kick and somebody has to block, doesn't mean you try to pull it back. You follow through on the kick. You follow through on the punch. You follow through on what you're doing. Unless, of course, it's got to be something dangerous that you need to pull back because, you know, it could be bad for you. But when I watch you guys throw kicks and stuff, you stop your kick because the guy has to block. Remember I told you about that. The block ain't gonna stop that kick. Right? It's gotta keep coming. So if you lose your place where you're at while you're trying, that means you may be concentrating too much on your body matrix and not moving with it. And that's where the eyes become important. Right? You guys ready? Okay, so now you guys create your ambiance, create your atmosphere, and you just got to do the form. And just the first chapter, the beginning, the first chapter is the most important part of the form. Of course, this is a long form. Tai Chi Chuan has 4 sections to it, and they're long, so you get to practice a lot. All right, so whenever you're ready, Alex, you just start, you know? Bring everything in we just talked about. See if you see a difference in what you're doing with the form. Create your atmosphere. Command your mat. Don't worry about anybody else that's around you here. Just command your mat. You'll see that you'll adjust your movement accordingly. Okay? And now you start to begin to do what Tai Chi actually is. Of course, there's more to it, but I'm giving you guys. Remember, you're floating through the ether, guys. Moving through the void. Everything comes from the void. I already see a difference in everybody. Remember, guys, move your eyes as well. Keep your center through the whole thing, right? This is how you develop power and speed. Slow is fast and fast is slow. Right? You'll notice if your shoulders are slouching. You'll notice if what's going on. You make those corrections over and over again throughout your life. Very nice, guys. Big improvement. Really was a big improvement. Let's just talk about one movement. Okay, so Tai Chi, you don't fight Tai Chi. Tai Chi is about creating a presence. You fight with all that, the yin and yang. So different movements, as your fighting skills increase, you do different things. But there's, different ways of applying movement. So I wanted to talk about, the open hand movement here. So when you guys are pushing, you're coming a lot from your shoulders, or when you're doing a motion like this here. So if you all just stand and face this way, right? You take your hand here. So all strikes, when it's open hand technique, on this particular one, it's going to be fingertips first. So your fingertips are going to come in. Now, when your fingertips are coming in and you're moving within the ether, like you'll see like in the movies and stuff where they're doing eagle claw and tiger claw and stuff, like they're hitting this way here, you're going to break your wrist. All right? So the whole thing, unless it's coming down with a gravity move, and we can get into the open hand fight. Open hand fighting is the fighting you really want to do in real life combat. Okay? But even your fist has open hands depending on where you're hitting from. So as I'm moving here, if we're all doing this, you could see that I'm moving with my fingertips. So it's kind of like a cockroach. It's like feeling its way around in the dark with those little antennas, right? All right? So now what's happening here, you see how my elbow collapses? Where you guys are this way? So now I'm moving, again, with my center. I'm feeling the weight of my bones. So all right, let's stop for a second. So when you guys get up in the morning and you do everything, right? You're pulling all that energy into your bone structure, right? Your bones are heavy, man. So your muscles all have to interact to pull those bones out of bed, right? Like we'll say bed because that's like the worst time on the planet when you first got to get up, right? Right? So your energy has to kick in. So you're kicking this and you're mindful of that and you keep that. And that also adds what to your life? Stress. Ta-da! This is where stress actually starts to come from in your body matrix. Because you're always forcing your body to do what it has to do. You're not moving with gravity, you're fighting it. So when you get up, you don't realize to walk from one place to the other place, or if you're heavy, that's when you walk this way. And some, I do. Everybody says I walk like an ape, but it's true, right? And I'm all right. But that's my street walk, right? When I was fighting on the street, I walk like an ape, people stay away from me. So the whole point is that you're pulling your body matrix up. So here, when I'm doing this, you're not paying attention to gravity. The weight of your arm, you're trying to control it, and you're coming this way. So you have a destination and you're pushing towards that instead of floating and moving to your destination. So if there's a palm strike, he's just standing straight here. Standing straight here, right? He's standing straight here. If there's a palm strike, you're not going this way. A palm strike actually starts to move this way. So the fingers are coming in like the cockroach. When it hits, it will angle its head and boom, and it will move. Okay? Boom. And that's how it moves, all right? So you want to, it also deals with the weight of your bones. If I tore your arm off, skinned it down, right, and used that bone, it's like hard as steel. I mean, it hurts if I was going to hit somebody with it, right? Oh. So the only difference is when you guys hit something, you go, ow, because your bones are going through, so you're not floating through the matrix. And that's why I tell you to practice with your energy walls, because you got to strike and pull back. All right? So if Venom's out here, right, to give you an idea, Venom's out here, and we're standing, we're fighting. The whole idea of a Tai Chi is to pull back. I hit, boom, and I'm hitting to this. Here, now his head, especially this guy's head, is thick. There's a lot of density going on in that skull. All right, I'm only picking on you, but everybody's skull's kind of the same, right? So, yeah. All right, so your hand is not going to, do too well when you're hitting a human skull. You may knock them out, but you may break your hand too. It's like people breaking bricks and stuff or whatever it is. You're doing damage. Here, it's about hitting to something, boom, and coming back. That's what the Tai Chi is also trying to teach you. And that's also how your speed will increase and why I tell you in 5-element form to work with your energy walls. Okay? So here, guys, just watch for a second, then you're all going to try. Here, when I'm moving here. You guys are moving here. So when you do a move like this here, you're this way. Right? Like you're casting a spell. Believe in me. Believe in me, right? So here, I'm floating. I'm moving through the energy. It has a destination where it stops and comes back. You will actually start to feel your hands maybe tingle or your body tingle. That's not chi. That's just blood moving through your body. The chi may be directing movement or helping your energy move because your body's made up of energy. But, it's like, oh, I feel the chi. I can tell you a story about that one. My Sifu really ripped me apart. So the whole point here is when I'm moving, I'm not moving this way. And you guys can't help it. First, gravity takes in, my bones are centering in my center. And now I'm moving. So I'm moving here, floating through to come to the next move. So as I'm moving, I'm just moving. I'm not this way, which all of you did. Especially on this part. You see? So collapsing on my center, what we were talking about in the beginning. So you're getting a lesson on how to do the Tai Chi. It's a very important lesson, but it's time consuming. But it's great. Because why are you doing the Tai Chi if you're not paying attention to what you're doing? I just learned the form, And that's why most people could just smash through those people, So here, I'm not doing this, which is what you guys did. I'm doing this, my center. I feel the way. I'm actually feeling myself move through the ether. When you guys can start doing that, your whole center is a little bit different, and your whole movement's different, and that's how you increase speed and power. You don't fight Tai Chi. In spite of what you said, Tai Chi master. I remember watching this one video where this guy, I hate the stuff that's out there. I don't want to talk about it. It just annoys me so much. So the whole point here, as I'm moving here, I'm just moving. So we'll get into this position. All right? So now if you got this position, just the move of your hand, center in and feel the weight of your arm. Don't lift it up with all this energy like I'm lifting up my shoulder to carry my arm through. Let gravity take over, and I'm moving here on my center, and now just float. You see? If I do the other side here, I just float. I'm not doing this here, lifting my energies in here. I'm coming into my center, everything's collapsing in my black hole, and I'm moving. So I'm floating through. So I'm touching and reaching out with my fingertips before I strike. It's the same as, the percussion punches that we do, right? So I'm just floating, right? So I'm watching this guy move here. So what's he look? He looks like a lumberjack, right? He's just sawing. What happened to floating? What's going on in that head of yours? I want to know right now. What are you doing? What is that? Tell me why you're doing that.
Trying to float.
Is that floating? So here you go. I'm going to tell you an old story. Years and years ago, I'm teaching my first student, who actually got me involved with teaching. We're outside, we're doing plum flower fist. So you can imagine how many years this is going back. This is going back a lot of years. And we're sitting there and there's a dog barking in the back there. A big dog that I didn't like this dog. Actually, there's a story behind this dog as well, right? When I almost crushed it. Big Saint Bernard. Anyway, he's there like this, what we were just doing. Doing the first move. I was just doing that. I said, Paul, what the hell are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm practicing the move. No, you're not. You're not even here. You're not even present. You're paying attention to the dog. You're paying attention to this. You look like a lumberjack, like, oh, shh. So if I'm saying floating, how is this floating, Alex? How is that practicing the move? You tell me. Where's the floatingness? Where's the practicing-ness? This is dogma. This is going back to your comfort zone, trying to figure it out. I do this enough times, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get it. Yeah, eventually I'll get it. You're not getting anything. Floating means floating. Gravity means gravity. You can't escape it. It's all part of you. So if you're practicing it, you can't practice with impatience that I'll get it one day. If I do this 30 times, I'm going to get it. Now, there are certain things like with punching and stuff like that. That last video that Vic did, I take it further with the idea of those punches. Okay, fine. But I'm floating. This is how I'm practicing it. Floating. Right? Floating. Presence. I'm feeling this. This isn't doing anything. You know, presence there. That's just you. That's not your body matrix. That's just your gray matter kicking in and you're just doing it. That's the lesson. Right? So when you're practicing, guys, the Tai Chi gives you that practice. So when you're in this part and you're doing this part, you're not going. Right? You're practicing. I'm floating. I'm moving. If I just create the form, all motion is coming into that. Just movement. Just seeing where that movement comes from. I love the movies where you watch these movies. We're going to fight. Come on, we're going to fight right now. Right? We're doing the death match. We're going to fight. All ready? We're going to bow in, and then we're ready. What is it? All right? It looks kind of cool. I look kind of cool when I'm doing it, but now there is a point to that because it's supposed to uproot a person's mind patterns. So now if we're going to start the fight, we're here. Now it's different. You see, now everything moves and it comes out. Now it has a purpose. Now, okay, I'm ready. Oh my God, there's so much crap out there. Go ahead. But it's okay because you all like being entertained. That's what I'm trying to do now. Entertain you, try to keep you bored, keep you more present while you're doing this. So what are you doing here, Alex? What was that? Did it have any purpose to it? No. Were you doing it? You were going to your gray matter and you're doing, I'm going to figure this out. The true physicist. Quantum immortality. Right? All right? I'm going to figure this out by staying with the idea of the movement. This isn't doing anything. So that's how you'll practice at home. That's why I'm correcting you now. And you probably all do the same thing. I saw you. Right? You're a big proponent of that. And the whole, well, I don't know, he just moves like, like a big wad of gum. Right? So the idea is to try to do what with your body matrix in the Tai Chi?
Be present with it.
Evolve. It's about evolving. It's about connecting with your body and evolving. Getting out of your 8-brain mind, or I won't say your mind, but your 8-brain brainstem, and evolving. Really moving your mind through your body. And it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime, because life is not going to get easier, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get harder. At the age I am now, you think it would be easy. But, if it should be easy, I should just be relaxing, going fishing, doing what I'm doing. It doesn't get easier. It's about how you're moving through life that makes the difference. And if you're moving through life this way, nothing's happening. You're just trying to figure it out. Sometimes you have to drown. Your whole body has to go underneath the water and move. You guys all follow me? You enjoying that little talk? It wasn't supposed to turn into this, but watching you guys do the Tai Chi. And the last time you guys just did it was good, but the idea of the pushing wasn't good. So let's do that one section again with being more mindful of the movement, okay? And so when you get to this part here and you're doing this, don't do this. Elbows drop to your center and float. This is where your power, boom, comes from. If I'm hitting, bam, I just hit him this way. So I just jarred his brain that floats on fluid, hit the wall of his skull, bam, it just moves. If I take my fingers, boom, I move it this way, I'm just coming in here. It hits so fast it comes back, that's what creates that big bang. Creation by you dying. Death and rebirth. You got it? Let's try it again now. Be mindful of it. So first you're going to start out here, and we'll have Alex take the lead again. Just get an idea, so you just kind of stay with the format. If you
From the start?
Yeah, right from the start. And let's see if we can bring all that, because I don't want you to forget this. You guys think, oh, you guys get to stand here and listen, but you know how hard it is to get to talk about this? All right? To get you guys there, and now to actually practice it. So that's why I say the first chapter is the most important chapter, because it sets off for the other ones. We have some time to go through the third chapter, but I think this is so important. And for the people that are watching eventually, they may get something from it and actually say, oh, that's what Tai Chi is about. You don't get out and fight Tai Chi. If you're getting out there and you're fighting some mixed martial arts guy who's just he doesn't have to be that good, he's just tough. And the guy's doing the Tai Chi, you just gotta go, you just gotta bury him. It doesn't work that way. It's not like in the movies, unless you live in an atmosphere where you think it works that way, and you get rude awakening, right? I see people do the Tai Chi and they send energy to people's bodies and they're doing this here. I'm like, oh my God, are you really falling for that? The audience is, not the audience, but the students are, because it creates hypnosis. They're just being hypnotized. Voodoo. Hoodoo, you do. There's no voodoo here. Either it works or it doesn't work. And this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. First, evolving your body matrix. And the rest will follow. Right? If you lead with your brain, it's always going to cause trouble. Lead with your heart, things may be a little bit different for you. But they have to combine. Right? Your brain always what? Wants, needs. Your heart does too, but it's more compassion. Unless you got 7 blood clots going on. All right, go ahead, guys. Do what you do. Everything we just talked about, try to bring it into game. Remember your eyes, guys. Your eyes, your center, right? Don't turn with your head. Let your eyes first lead where you're going and then follow that movement. So as you're doing that, if you're leading with your body too much, your shoulders take the lead instead of your eyes. So your eyes move, and then your shoulders and the rest of your body follows. This is also how you start to improve your movability when facing a weapon or moving against it. You don't do Tai Chi. You execute movement from it with your body matrix. And you bring that into combat. The same with form is the same way. It's just that we just all have this misinterpretation of how it actually works. Much better, everybody. I'm really enjoying watching what you guys are doing. Better, Alex. Very good. Right? Getting that push down better, right? Understanding. Just let the arm Watch your bones, the weight of your bones, the gravity come in. Gravity kills everything. So you want to move with it. You don't want to fight it all the time. Right? That's very good. Feel the difference, or see a difference in how you're doing the Tai Chi? Becoming a little bit more patient with it, and a little bit more patient with yourself instead of this impatient stuff. So it's not that I'm picking on you, but yeah, I'm picking on you. But you get the idea. It's like your brain's just going this, you're brainwashed by everything that's going on. It's really about evolving your brain. Wherever your life is, you have to be where you are. If you could truly do that, that's amazing. Right? You're actually moving in the matrix, being a part of the matrix, instead of always fighting the matrix. Because the matrix is a bastard, right? It's always going to challenge you. It's always going to test you. And we won't get into that too, and this will all be on the philosophy tapes that we'll be doing. But I gave you a little bit of philosophy, mindful philosophy, and you guys are moving better. You're starting to get it. You're actually doing the Tai Chi. If you have that presence, then the third or second or fourth chapter will all start to evolve, and you will evolve. Right? Instead of you'll just be. You know, practicing being is a very difficult thing to do. You know, because we always want to be, and we always are someone else. Right? You're already thinking about where you're going to be after you get out of here, what you're going to be doing. You're never really present. The Tai Chi is the first gateway to actually doing that. Because you become a captive audience. You have to be present. It's the one thing that you are actually giving to yourself that can take you and amalgamate and insidiously move into many directions of your life. And in the combat aspect of it, it is amazing. Right? You know, like I said, you don't fight Tai Chi. You don't fight like what we did that whole class on before when I told you to break it down. It's different. It brings all this expansion to your brain. So in your brain, there are many, many rooms. Right? In your castle, there are many rooms that you still need to enter. And those are different levels of consciousness and enlightenment. And it's personal. You can't really share it with anybody. It's just like, you can express it like what I'm trying to do with the Tai Chi, and you guys are getting it. But now you actually learn. You actually learn, because you were patient enough, or forced patience, to actually learn what the Tai Chi is and how to do Tai Chi, instead of just like, okay, I want the whole form, now I know Tai Chi. You don't know anything. You're just moving. Right? Now you've got ways to practice it, ways to evolve your body matrix. That's Tai Chi. So now, in the classes, and when I ask you guys what it is, you can put it in words that you want to put it in, but all of this stuff has to come into play. You need to practice that when you go onto the mat. And then it takes on a different meaning. Okay, for the most part, when you guys practice, you practice every day? All right, that's a great answer. So. Most of the time I practice every day, except certain days. So sometimes I don't want to practice, but I've been doing it for 50 years, so I can get away with a little bit, right? Because you don't have any meaning behind it. There's no meaning for you. You're just, I'm just doing, like, why the hell are you doing the Tai Chi? Oh, someday Sifu says it works. One day I'll get it. But you're really not participating in your body matrix. This is the most important thing that you have. Without it, you got nothing. So what I did when I was younger and I was doing a lot of fighting, even now when I stand in front of you guys, which I really enjoy, but the whole thing is, it's like, I'm present. It teaches you presence. Now you get to practice that in everything you are. You're having a rough day, you're having a rough time in your life, that's not going to change. It's going to be, life moves like a roller coaster, right? Ups and downs. But usually, a little bit more downs than ups, right? And it's always like, there's always some new disaster you have to face, some trouble you got. You look in the mirror and you go, what the hell did you do? Why am I even here? What? Another problem, another thing, a mess you got yourself into. That's life. So it's not going to go anywhere. The Tai Chi really helps you guys. I just can't explain. Now, it's the combat aspects of it are amazing. You could see when I'm moving with it, and how you will increase your speed and all of that stuff, you know, and you will learn better combat skills, you know. You know, if you ever really need combat, you know, go out and get a bat. Hit him over the head with it. But some guys you get hit in the head, like I've been hit in the head with a bat, and it didn't stop me. So, you know, maybe that explains a lot. Right? I've been stabbed. I've been everything but shot. I don't really want to experience that. You know, I'd like to avoid that if I can. But some people that punched me back in the day, it felt like I was shot. You know, like, whoa, what the hell? That hurt. Right? So you guys, now you learn Tai Chi. And you could take this lesson, you could bring it into other things. And eventually you will, because it just does what it does. But you can actually bring it into the rest of your form. Instead of just sitting out here and just like, okay, I got 10 minutes to do this form, or I got 15 minutes, you just bring it in. So if at that day I'm like in a rush, you know, there's no such thing as perfection. Do you know what perfection is? Do you know what being perfect is?
A dead end.
What is that? You know, like I'm floating on a lotus leaf, not sliding off, and I'm perfected, I'm perfect. That's such crap, right? Matrix doesn't work that way. It's always got to challenge you. So if I'm coming out here and I create that ambiance, I create the atmosphere, and I'll just talk as I'm going through it, and I'm just moving, but I'm keeping that presence all through it. So with a little rush, so my Tai Chi's moving a little bit faster, but I'm still present. And I'm talking, babbling here, just moving, right? I'm still staying true to the form mark. When you guys make this move, it's like, and then you step like there's no floating because you're not using your body matrix. That's why you can't bring the energy into your center, and while your legs are like, you know, where are you going to go? Yeah, right? So in the movement, I'm always present with that. So if you got days when you're doing the Tai Chi, you know, and you want to do it because you feel bad if you don't, you know, like, why am I not doing my Tai Chi? Because you take 3 hours to do it. So it'll be a day where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my Tai Chi, and I'm moving, so I move a little bit faster with it. And I'm still going, but as long as I'm keeping with my center, keeping that idea of what presence is, I'm moving with it. And then I may change and correct some of the movements as I'm moving faster and be a little bit more playful. So it doesn't always have to be so serious. You know, why so serious? You can move through it, so you can actually practice it, guys, without like thinking that it takes so much time. It really doesn't. You ever take a test? You just got 5 minutes to do on the test, but it seems like an eternity. Like you got 5 minutes to do this, answer these 5 questions. Like, but if you're not paying attention to it, right? It's like a watched pot never boils, you know, but actually it always boils the same. It's just you're more present watching it. It's not boiling, it's not boiling. But it really does only take 3 minutes for it to come to a boil, no matter what. The time it always comes at the same time. So you're out here and you're doing this here, now you're doing your Tai Chi. So Alex wanted to do a segment on the Tai Chi. Maybe next class we'll do the third segment, because we're running out of time, right?
It's already 9.
Okay, so here, I'll finish it up. This was probably one of the most important lessons of doing the Tai Chi that you guys ever had. So don't lose it. Start appreciating what you're doing with the Tai Chi. Start having a presence with it. And that presence insidiously will work everywhere in your life. People will end at one other thing. People will understand, they'll see, like they don't understand why I move so fast within the realm of the timing I'm moving in. Because I understand time and motion. So people have all this excess movement that they don't need to have. Just walking from one place to another, they're creating all this other movement that doesn't need to exist. When working or moving, they do the same thing. Right? So mind kind of floats in motion. And I watch people at work, and they work so hard, you know? And then a guy will say to me, he goes, you know, how do you move the way that you move? Because you're just getting things done, and I'm running here because you're missing things. You're not seeing the big picture. You're not viewing. You know, you're wasting movement when you could just do it naturally. So the Tai Chi is what I'm saying will insidiously start working on other parts of your body and your mind, and you'll start using your eyes a little bit better. Okay? So today you learn Tai Chi. There's a difference between doing Tai Chi and learning Tai Chi. Right? People will just do Tai Chi and they have nothing from it, you know? But learning it, absorbing it, now you're doing something. Now you have presence. So this was the lesson. This is the first lesson. You guys did very well. I was really impressed with what we were doing with the movement of the Tai Chi. But it still needs some work, but you still need to amalgamate it to who you are. And if I see more of you doing the Tai Chi, then I know you're on the right path. Grow, learn, teach, guys. Very good. Enjoy the talk.